You say that we are on the verge of having heaven or hell. Mm-hmm. And that's very interesting because it means that it depends on what we desire. Mm. And the problem is to identify our desires and our storytelling. Mm-hmm. And in this sense, you know, Nathan Sachs, one great poet, mm-hmm. once said that poems were the songs of people, what people think, what people desire, and what they think that they desire. And the trouble is to identify what we really desire.
If you really want to know what is real, I think the best question to ask is, can it suffer? Mm. A nation cannot suffer. Even if a nation loses a war, the nation doesn't suffer. It's just a metaphor. It's an abstract thing.
Yes, yes.
Or a bank, if a bank crashes, it doesn't suffer. A bank can't suffer. Humans can suffer. Animals can suffer. And I think that we need to be able to look beyond all these stories about nations, about gods, about money, about human rights, and to observe reality as it is. What is really suffering? What is really happiness? If we can't do that, then we can achieve any goal we set ourselves, and we will never be satisfied with it.
And this takes us to the problem of this decision plane in which we are, in which we can choose hell or heaven. Mm-hmm. Being like gods means also some kind of evolution of Homo sapiens. How do you imagine Homo sapiens in the next generations?
In the next generations, well, I think we are one of the last generations of Homo sapiens. We still have grandchildren, but I'm not so sure that our grandchildren will have grandchildren, at least not human grandchildren. We are on the verge of such huge transformations in our own bodies and minds that in 200 years, I guess, our descendants will be much more different from us than we are different from Neanderthals or from chimpanzees. Throughout history, there have been many revolutions in technology, in politics, in economics, but one thing remained constant, which is humanity itself. We still have the same body, the same mind, the same basic abilities that people had in ancient Egypt or in the Stone Age, say 20,000 or 30,000 years ago. This didn't change. But looking 200 years to the future, there will again be technological revolutions, economic revolutions, political revolutions, but the biggest revolution of all, by far, is going to be the revolution in our bodies and minds. We will use technology, whether it's nanotechnology or genetic engineering or direct brain-computer interface, to completely change our bodies and minds and to create different kinds of beings with different abilities, with different desires. And this is not science fiction, this is science, and it's far more radical than most science fiction stories. Because in most science fiction stories, you have people like you and me who travel in space, in spaceships with laser guns, but they are the same as us. They have the same desires, they have the same basic abilities. The really revolutionary thing about the future is not going to be our weapons or our vehicles, it's going to be ourselves.
Yubal Harari imagina al Homo sapiens en el futuro y nos advierte que estamos ante una gran revolución que pasa sobre todo por transformarnos nosotros mismos y saber qué es lo que realmente deseamos.